How we doing, people? Welcome back to A Case for the Blues. I'm Case, and it is episode 39. Chelsea 1, Everton nil, and that is a crucial 3 points towards us trying to get those Champions League spots. 3 points that I'd already predicted we would get. If you've been keeping track of that play predictor that I've done, I've got this result right, and we are now about to go into what I call the 4 games of death: Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester United, and Nottingham Forest. And I've only got us drawing 2 out of those 4 games, which, you know what? I kind of hope that I'm just being really negative, being pessimistic, but I've been basing that off of how we've been playing since December. And I don't think I'm the only Chelsea fan that's sitting here not really convinced that we're going to get the top 4 spaces or top 5 spaces. I've got us finishing 7th, but nonetheless, today's a positive because we've got the 3 points. That's 2 games on the trot we've now won. And that's our 6th home win out of 7th. So our home form at the moment is propping up this second half of the season. And it's our away form that we need to worry about. And those away games come up against Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest also trying to get top 4. Newcastle trying to get top 4. I'm hoping Liverpool are going to be hungover from winning the title tomorrow. And Manchester United are Manchester United. You never know what you're going to get with them. We normally struggle, but they've been very bad this season. We beat them last season, just about. I'm hoping this season we get some. We've got to get some results. We've got to get some W's out of them last 4 games, and we are kind of relying on other teams around us to drop points. But let's just focus for now on the positives, and that is Chelsea 1, Everton nil. And I tell you what, I was very, very happy with that first 45 minutes because it reminded me of the first half of the season. And I'm just going to put it out there. I already knew this, and I think a lot of Chelsea fans already knew this, how important Lavia is to this system and how we play. Because he changed, well, for me, he was the difference, and I think he's going to be critical for us for the remainder of the season. Him in the middle there, his positional sense is just brilliant, and he offers us confidence going forward. To be fair, we looked. You just look at the last 4 games that we've played, and now look at it with Lavia in the team, and you'll see how convincing we look going forward, how convincing we look going back. We played Caicedo at right back, which allowed him to invert in the middle, and then you have Lavia and Caicedo just sweeping up. It allowed Enzo to be a free player all the time. Palmer gets really man marked a lot, so he finds it difficult now. We knew that was going to happen this season. A lot of people are saying that he's not playing well, etc., etc. He ain't. Let's be real, but at the same time as well, this guy's a problem now. See, people plan their tactics around him as well. So he was always going to struggle this season. Well, maybe I'm making excuses. He hasn't been good the last however long. I am making excuses for him. But listen, 3 points is what we wanted. 3 points is what we get. And how we did it was fantastic. Second half, okay, it wasn't great. We fell off the wagon a little bit. Lavia got tired. Lavia had to come off. Obviously, he's not match fit yet. And I thought Everton made some changes that impacted their team quite well. I thought that Alcaraz come on and done a good job receiving the ball from deep and allowing his players to play a little bit more forward and put a little bit more pressure on Chelsea. But yeah, nonetheless, we've got the job done. Now I'm just going to go through the lineup. We had Sanchez in goal, which, you know what? I have to be fair. I'm very critical of Sanchez, but today I thought he was fantastic. And his 2 crucial saves that he made kept us in this game because it could have gone the other way. Don't get me wrong, Pickford made some good saves as well. But Sanchez made 2 crucial saves where they looked like clear-cut chances to score a goal, and he pulled it out the bag. I wasn't so keen on him in the first half with his ball handling. I kept feeling like he dropped the ball all the time. When he was coming out to claim it from crosses, it wasn't convincing. There was that chance where, it wasn't a chance. There was that moment in the game where he clashed with Mikalenko. If he was a couple of seconds later than that, that could have been a penalty. But luckily, he got there first. But then he completely turned it around for me after that moment. I thought his kicking was good. His handling after that was good. And he made 2 fantastic saves. So we had Sanchez in goal. He's had a good performance, and rightly so. He's been getting his praises for it today. We had Caicedo at right back, Chalobah and Cole at centre back, Cucurella at left back, Fernandez and Lavia, the return of Lavia. We had Madueke on the left today, Palmer in the middle, Neto on the right, and Jackson up top. Now, as I said, first half, I thought we had a very controlled first half performance, and we looked very convincing. And Nicholas Jackson finally gets his first goal in what I think 13 games, and it comes from, to be fair, Pickford was moaning at Beto, but I thought Pickford's kicking today was shocking. And it was, for me, a poor kick out to Beto. Chalobah done really well. Another player today that really put in a performance. Nicks the ball off of him. It falls to Enzo, and Enzo passes straight into Jackson. And what we gave credit for Tyreek George doing last week, sorry, I got hiccup again. What we gave credit for Tyreek George doing last week with his instinctive turn and shot on goal, Jackson does exactly the same thing. He receives it to feet, turns, shoots, great shot, bottom corner, and he gets his goal. Now, hopefully, that's what he needs for his confidence going forward. I mean, other than that, I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't overly impressed with how he played today. I thought his touches were a little bit dodgy. I thought he was a little bit positionally all over the place. But let's just take the positives from. He scored the goal, exactly what we needed. And in the end, it turned out to be the winner. As I said, in the second half, we started to filter out a little bit. Mainly, I think that's because Lavia had to come off, and it kind of changes our system up a little bit when he does. But also, I thought David Moyes made some good substitution that impacted Everton's game, and Everton definitely come out and played a lot better. And you can see that with the stats, which we'll lead on to. So the first half stats. We had more expected goals, we had more possession, we had more total shots, we had more shots on target. Obviously, we scored a goal. Everton had one big chance, we had none, funnily enough. We had more corners. And then you look at the goalkeeper saves, we had none. Goalkeeper didn't have to pull off one save in that first half. And it gives you an indication on how well we controlled the game. They weren't really offering anything in that first half, Everton, but the second half, a lot different. We had the same amount of ball possession in the first half as we did the second half, 55% to Everton's 45. But this half, Everton are taking more shots. They've got 5 shots. They've had 3 on target, one of them being a big chance in McNeil and a great save from Sanchez. 2 corner kicks that half from Everton. We had 6. So we're still ahead on the stats, but the stats are not telling the full story of that second half. We did look a little bit vulnerable in areas, but nonetheless, we saw the game out. And we've got the 3 points, and it's exactly what we needed. Now, we'll go through what I think of players. Sanchez, like I said, I thought he had a really good game today. Caicedo's just Caicedo. He's just a consistent performer no matter where you play him. He's just brilliant. At one point, he took on 3 players, just shrugged them off and had a shot, which just went wide. And, he's such a good player. Everybody keeps bigging up fucking Declan Rice. I'm telling you now, this player here is nobody's talking about his price tag anymore. Absolutely nobody. And you know why? Because he's putting in shifts week in, week out, and he's so consistent with it. And he's so important to this team. Like, for me, he's one of the first names that you put on that sheet every single week without foul. Chalobah today, I thought that's the best I've seen him in a very, very long time. I thought he was very composed today. I was, you know what it was? I like it when my centre backs give me confidence that ball's not going to go past them, confidence that they're going to do the right things. And today, I just thought he was really, really good with that. I thought he gave Beto a hard time. Beto was struggling with him. Colwell, I thought he had a good first half, and then the second half, he kind of had a moment where he started being a bit wobbly, and he started, Beto started getting the better of him. He started, out of position in a certain period of the game. And, I started to, if you saw me on the stream, I was like, come on, Cobble, sort it out. Like, he kept making like a little, he just had a wobbly 10 minutes. Let me just summarize it by saying he had a wobbly 10 minutes. But after that, he was okay. Cucurella's Cucurella. Again, another consistent performer for us. I just think he's brilliant. That first half, he pinged the ball out wide to Neto at one point when I didn't think it was on, and he done it. And he started an attack. I thought that was really good from him. But other than that, defensively, great. Lavia, I think today speaks for itself. I think he's just proved how important he is to this system, and how critical he is going to be for the remainder of the season. Without him, we do look vulnerable, and that was shown in the second half. Very, very good player. Positionally, I think he's really good. Breaks up the play, passes through the lines. Not scared to try that pass either. He did do it a couple of times and it didn't come off. But you know what? He makes up for it positionally, and he makes it hard for their midfielders to break through the lines. Enzo Fernandez, I thought he had a good game today. There was some moments I got a little bit annoyed at him, but I thought he had a good game today. He ended up getting the assist for Jackson. Now, I'm 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 excited to talk about these two, Neto and Madueke, because for once I felt like both sides of the pitch we had a real impact on the game. Neto on the right hand side and Madueke looked really good on the left. Soccer Stand, I've got him as the man in the match, and I understand it because I thought he was very positive today, taking his player on. He had a few shots. He dribbled into the box a few times, cut in and shot on his right. Had to force Pickford to make a couple of saves. He could have had 2 goals today easily if Pickford hadn't picked out them saves. So very happy with Noni Madueke's performance today. Happy with Neto's performance today, taking on his player and getting the ball in the box. We look more dangerous with that. So we need to maintain that standard of our wing play. If our wide men can keep doing that, we're going to cause problems. Palmer, he had an okay game, but for me, again, it felt like he wasn't really involved in the game. He wasn't really changing anything in the game. He for me, was a bit of like a passenger in the. It sounds horrible, sounds bad what I'm saying, but I just don't feel like he had much impact on the game today. Like I felt like you could have subbed him off and we would have missed him. Now I don't know what's going on there. Enzo Maresca's come out and said it's a mental thing. I can't stand the geezer, but you know what? Is what it is. Soccer Standard still got him down as a 7, so he's still putting out, statistically, he's still putting out good performances. Nicholas Jackson obviously gets the goal today. He had an okay performance. Hopefully that goal does well for his confidence. But yeah, for me, it's crunch time. I'm happy that we got them 3 points, but I'm just going to share the screen quickly. How do I do that? Oh yeah, here we go. I forgot how to do it. Here we go. I'm going to share the play predictor that I've got for the end of the season. Now I have got to update this because I didn't update the Villa game where they lost. Let me get it up on the big screen, just so we are keeping track of what's going on. So here we are over here. I've only got one result out of all of them wrong, and that was the Ipswich game, which I expected us to win, and we got a draw. So we dropped 2 points in that game. And other than that, I've got all the results right. So I'm hoping now that I'm wrong. Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester United, and Nottingham Forest. This is where I hope that I'm wrong, and I'm just being a negative, pessimistic fan. Or we're starting to pick up our form because 2 wins on the bounce, and that first half in that Everton game showed glimpses that we can play a bit of football convincingly. Then we've got City. I've got 2 of their results wrong, which is to the detriment of Chelsea. Obviously, 2 draws in there. They won on both. That's 3 wins on the bounce for them. And I've got them winning the rest of the games to the end of the season. Now, Fulham away will be a tough game. Wolves are actually on good form at the moment, so that may be a tough game. Southampton piss easy. And then they've got Bournemouth at home, which I expect them to win. But they're kind of scraping through it. They're not the convincing team. They're not the convincing Man City team that we've seen before. So I'm hoping that they drop points. They're quite close to us in the table. Where are they in the table? I think they're 1 point ahead of us. Let me just get it up. Oh shit! Palace beat Villa 3-0. Okay, no. So what's that? Palace are in the final. Yeah, they thumped them. They absolutely thumped them 3-0. I saw Eze's goal. That was brilliant. Yeah, so Man City on 61 points at the moment. We're on 60, so they're 1 point ahead of us. So, I just need them to continue being their wobbly self, because this 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 wins on the bounce, that will be 7 wins on the bounce, that would be towards the end of the season. I mean, they're more than capable of doing it. We've seen it in the past, but it feels like a different City team. So I'm hoping there's a mistake in here somewhere that makes them drop points and we can capitalize on one of these games. And basically what I'm trying to say is I want to get top 4. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got Newcastle in there. I'm just going to update that now. So I got the Ipswich result correct. They beat them. And then we've got Nottingham Forest. Well, I've got them drawing against Brighton. Brighton are a funny team at the moment. They're a bit inconsistent, but then they've got us. So if this Chelsea-Newcastle game is so important now. So important. I kind of want Arsenal to beat Newcastle as well. Don't think I'd ever say that, but I just need these teams to start dropping points, mum. I've actually taken Brighton out of there because I'm not bothered with them now. But I put Arsenal in there just as one to watch. I do think they're still going to finish second. They've been the second best team in the Premier League, that's for certain. But I think it's one we just need to keep an eye on with their Champions League games in midweek. And you can see against Crystal Palace, they're kind of, off the gas a little bit, knowing that they've got Champions League in the background. Could they drop points? Could some of these results turn into losses that make them drop out of second place? Potentially. That's if everything else goes to plan on here as well. So let me stop sharing at the moment. That's that. But yeah, so the next game is Liverpool at home. I'm not quite sure when that is. Let me just get that up. What day is it? Is it Saturday or is it Sunday on the 4th? When's the 4th? The 4th is Sunday. So they'll be on the Sunday at 4:30. I'm actually on holiday, so I won't be doing a stream for that game, believe it or not, because I'm on holiday. So I'll probably catch you. Well, we've got Jurgen next on Thursday. Need to see if I'll be on that one. Let me check. Should really do this before I jump on, but fixtures. Jurgen at 8 o'clock on the 1st of May. I'll probably just do a match reaction for that one. I'll keep you posted. I might jump on that one and do a live. I'll miss the Liverpool game. So I'll be back for it'll be Newcastle, 12 o'clock on the 11th. So thanks for tuning in. If you have, leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. We're 3 away from 100. Slowly but surely the channel is growing, and I'd appreciate it if you could help me further. And I guess I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Up the Chels.